Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Okay, so where were we in the Gita?
15th chapter, you have to start from
Which chapter?
15.
15th chapter. And
Start.
the tree and all is completed, right?
Yes.
So we have to start.
Starts 15.
We have to start.
Oh, we have to start the 15th. Okay, okay. I'm
Yes,
confusing it with some other class. Okay. So we have to start the 15th today. Ah, okay. Yeah, here's another message. Meeting is on. The character has not joined in. He is waiting, but he is messaging me now. And I can't see him in the waiting list also. This is what happens, okay? All right, let us start. 15th chapter, known as Purushottama Yoga, which starts with an imagery of a tree. Okay, yeah. Which brings me to a more modern example. How many of you have seen that movie Star Wars? I think many of you would have seen it. Most of you would have seen it. I think the youngsters, Vivek has not seen it? Yeah, seen, okay. So in this movie, where the Jedi Knights are trained, there is a huge tree. Okay? And it's a huge banyan tree spread out. And as part of the test, you have to enter that tree. Because roots all over, no? Banyan tree. So there is a lot of space. You have to enter. And in that, you will confront your worst fears. Your worst fear that's inside you will appear outside you. This is exactly what the samsara vriksha is. The world, the vriksha representing samsara, okay, is exactly like that. This is meant for your growth, therefore you will have to confront a lot of issues here. So now Krishna is using the imagery of a tree, the samsara vriksha. Okay. Let us see what Krishna is saying here. Okay. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Urdhva Moolamata Shakam Ashwattam Prahuravyayam Chandhamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Sa Veda Ved. Here is a tree, he says. Moolam, the roots, Urdhvam are above. Shaka, the branches, Ataha, they are below. Adaha, they are below. It's an Ashwatha tree. Prahuravyayam. So I have seen some stupid paintings where they show the tree upside down. That is not the imagery, okay? This is without any understanding. Moolam, the root, is above. Above meaning above your field of experience in pure Brahman alone, which is outside your field of experience. Urdhvam is Urdhvam. It is not within the field of your experience, it's Brahman. Brahman is not an object of experience anyway. Therefore, Brahman is Urdhvam. The tree, the Moolam is Urdhvam. But the branches of the world, which is your field of experience, therefore they are below in this world where you can experience things. So it is not an upside down tree. Okay. The tree is tree, like any other tree. Okay. But this is it. The roots are beyond your experience. The branches, etc., are within your experience. They are in the world of mortals, of all of us, which we can experience. But the root is not something you can experience. That is the idea. Prahu iti ashwatam iti prahu. Ashwataha, banyan tree. Why banyan? Because it hangs around for a long time. Even if the main tree dries, the secondary roots will take over and become trunks. No? It can spread for miles. For miles it can stand. I don't know whether how many of you have seen that tree in Adayar. Huge tree, yeah, huge tree like that. Yeah. I think the diameter is some half a mile or 1 mile or something, yeah. Huge tree like that. There is something in Bengal also. Yeah. If they hear the Hindu symbol, they'll chop it down. Better not hear it. Okay. So, huge tree. They will continue. At the same time, the Ashwata implies Shva na tishtati, that will not last tomorrow, meaning it will not last forever. Even though it's hanging around for a long time, it does not last forever.
Swamiji, I have one question.
Yeah, shoot.
Is there any significance for the usage of roots above? Why couldn't the expression branches above be used?
I told you the meaning behind it. The significance is beyond your experience, above your experience. Roots are above, meaning above your experience.
No, my question is slightly different.
What is that?
Why couldn't they use, why haven't they used, is there any deliberate...
It is the way Krishna chose to use it.
Okay, alright.
Yeah, it is his choice. He's the one who's using the words. It's his choice how to use it. And our job to understand what he meant and what he... Remember one thing. Gita was written around 3000 BC. Okay? Roughly. But according to Indian calculation, roughly 3000 BC. That's 5000 years ago. The language will be very, very different. It will not be the language that we use today. Read Shakespeare, which was written 300 years back. Is a language what we use today. We find it difficult to read the original because the language is different. So if 300 years can make a difference, imagine how much difference 5000 years can make. It will be different. Therefore, it's our job to try and understand that. Okay. So we question to understand. Okay. Therefore, Chandamsi, Ashwatam Prabhu, Shvana Tishtati, it does not last forever. Does not last tomorrow, you'll say. Tomorrow meaning, tomorrow can keep on happening. No? Tomorrow. No, it will not last forever. It has an end. Chandamsi yasya parnani. The chandas, the Vedic meters are the leaves of the tree, he says. The Vedas are the leaves of the tree. Vedic mantras are the leaves of this tree. One who knows the tree, he is a Vedavid. One who knows this tree, he is a Vedavid. Why? You know the world, the whole manifestation, the tree, and you know the root. What else is the Veda dealing with? The Veda is a Pramana for those things which we can't figure out. Remember, this is very important to understand. Vedanta becomes a Pramana because it is part of the Veda. Vedanta is the name given to the Upanishads. Why? It happens to be at the Anta, the end portion of the Vedas. Since the Gita deals with the same subject matter of the Upanishad, Gita is also treated as Vedanta. The Pramana of the Upanishad is because Veda is a Pramana. Now what is a Pramana? Just to recall, and for the people who are new, Pramana is not authority, etc. Pramana means a means of knowledge. The actual meaning of the word Pramana is means of knowledge. Okay, means of knowledge. Pramakaranam pramanam. That which gives you knowledge is pramanam. What type of a knowledge? That's also important. Abhadita anadigata jnana janakam. Abhadita anadigata jnana janakam. Abhaditam, that which cannot be negated. Anadigatam, that which cannot be gained by any other means of knowledge. Such a jnanam, such a means which gives you this knowledge, such a knowledge is called a pramana. Like your eyes are a pramana. Why? It tells you the color of this book is brown in color, brown to maroon in color. This knowledge that the eyes give you cannot be gained by any other pramana, isn't it? I'll put my nose to it. Will I gain the knowledge of the color? If you have any doubts, try to see the color of chili powder and then put your nose to it. Or better, your eyes to it. The taste of chili powder, only your tongue will give you, not your eyes. Yeah. Similarly, smell. So each of them, together, they become perception, one pramana. Then what perception cannot give you? Why? Based on perceptual data, you can make an inference. That becomes another pramana. Then deductive logic, that becomes another pramana. Upamana, comparative logic, another pramana. Like this, there are 5 pramanas we use, including what is known as Anupalabdi. The pramana we use to know objects that don't exist. I look at the list of students here and say, hey, where is that young girl gone? Aditya's wife, Swati, where is she? Is she here? You look around and say she is not here. Is this same as perception? Remember, for perception, light has to be reflected from her to my eyes. If she is not there, how is she going to reflect? If she is not here, how is she going to reflect? But keeping Swati Buddhi in my Buddhi, I look around and say, nahi hai. It's a very peculiar pramana which Vedanta accepts. It is called Anupalabdi. This is how we figure out things which are not there. Important, because in a lot of life, you have to figure out what is not there. Why am I feeling like this? What am I missing? Important to feel. Yeah. So these type of things are there. Okay. So all these are pramanas. All these are pramanas. Someone is joining in now. Okay. All these are pramanas. The pramanas to know the truth. Now, is there a heaven? You can argue for and against until kingdom come. I say it is not there, you say it is there. Is there any proof? Is there any scientific proof on top of it? So for karma phala, is there any proof that this karma will give you karma phala? Proof, eh? Samjhi, scientific action reaction. That is supporting logic. That is not proving logic. Another birth, rebirth. Is there scientific evidence? There is supporting evidence in the work of brain wires, etc. A few doctors have worked on it. So some supporting logic is available. But all this pramana, all this stuff that you cannot figure out, the pramana is a Veda for it. But remember, when you say Veda is a pramana, it's not a matter of blind belief. Why? It has to be logically presented. I'll say there is a heaven. Okay, fine. Veda says there is a heaven. All right, I accept. You go there by your good karma. Okay, logical, I'll accept. Once you go there, it is eternal. There is not logical. I went there on the basis of my good karma. My karma is limited, karma phala has to be limited. How can I live there eternally? Gadbad hai. That becomes illogical. What is illogical is not pramana. Understand, this is very important. Yeah. That's why in the Hindu philosophy or the Sanatana Dharma view, We don't talk about eternal heaven and eternal hell. Heaven for us is very limited. Holiday home. You take a break from life here. बहुत किया यार, बहुत कुछ किया. Even as an old man, I was doing a lot of stuff. Now, take a break. Before the next life starts, take a break, have a nice holiday. Then come back refreshed to pick up the cross again. Or it's a remand home. You did a lot of things for which you have to pay for it. Go home. Experience some things nice. Come back a chastened individual. That's all. It's a holiday home or a remand home. So, that is what makes it believable. It is not eternal. So, certain things have to be believed, certain things have to be understood. Then you come to the end portion of the Veda, which is the Upanishad, which deals with Atma Jnanam. The first portion deals with Dharma, Artha, Kama. Dharma about life here and hereafter. Dharma which are universal principles. Karma, Karma Phala, etc. It deals with all of that. It deals with Artha, Kama. Securities, pleasures. So it gives you different ways of gaining it other than the known ways. I want a child. So we don't have to go to the Veda for it, do you? Did all of us go to the Veda to get a child? But you tried your normal means of getting a child. Found somebody, made love, all that. Didn't work. Took care of all the medical part because that's important. There may be something slightly off here and there because it's a very complex system. The human system is complex, so something slightly here and there off can create an issue. No, all that is fine. Still not getting a child. Acha. Then you go to a good astrologer. He says karmic, this, that, etc. Do this yajna, putra kameshti. You'll get a child. And you'll get also. Provided other things have been taken care of, okay? As a single person, this character went and did putra kameshti. Found some idiotic priest who was willing to do it also. Now what? Now he is at big risk. Anytime he goes out with a girl, he is at big risk. You all understand what I am trying to say. And how will he get a child? No, I will never do something like that. Very good. So, how will you get a child then? Because you are done there. All the kids in the building will start calling you daddy. or uncle. How else did you expect? So, it is supposed to enhance your normal life, not replace it, okay? It is not supposed to replace your karma, it's supposed to enhance your karma. Yeah. So, that way. So, all these are, now in the last section, you come to moksha, deals with moksha. So, the pramana is the Upanishad for it. Atma Jnanam. Jnane nevatu kaivalyam. By knowledge alone, you will gain moksha, is very clearly stated. Brahmavid apnoti param. Param purushartham mokshakyam. The parama purushartha called moksha, you will gain only by Brahmaveda. So, all this he puts into this verse and says, one who knows the world that is manifest as well as the source Brahman, Veda with. All the Veda talks about, he knows. Aur kya janne ke? You know the manifestation. I don't know all the details of the manifestation. No human mind will know all the details. Only Ishvara's mind can hold all the details of the manifestation. Our pokey little human mind is not capable of holding it. But you can know everything, that Brahman is everything, that Brahman you can know. Therefore, there is where the knowledge comes in. Brahmavid bhavati, Vedavid bhavati. Okay. He is just making a pratignya, a promise here. Now we will go ahead explaining that. Okay, how is that? Here, look at the tree. Look at the tree again. Adascha urdhvam prasuta tasya shaka guna pravardha vishaya pravala adascha moolan anusandatani karma anubandhini manushya loke. Adascha urdhvam. Adaha, below into the world of mortals, human beings, etc., lower lokas from us, also lower lokas. It's all part of samsara. Urdhvam here is into heaven, etc. The branches are spread. Why? Heaven, etc. is also part of samsara. It is only the difference between living in a congested third world country and living in a welfare state like Sweden or something like that, where everything is taken care of. Maja hai. Quality of life is better, that is all. Quality of life is better. But there also now quality of life is being under question. Why? The Easter procession was stoned by some peace-loving people because it's against our culture and religion. In Sweden, okay? No. In India, it is because we Hindus are fanatic. They are stoning our processions of Ram Navami. What about Sweden Easter processions? Okay, understand what is what. Understand what is what. Yeah. So, others, Churdam, everywhere, all part of samsara. What is happening in Sweden is also samsara. What is happening here is also samsara. In heaven also samsara. Earth also is samsara. Why? Wherever there is experience of joy and sorrow is samsara. Yeah, samsara means that experiences of joy, of pleasure, of problematic, all that is samsara. Adascha moolam prasasta tasya shaka. The shaka, the branches are spread up and down. Samsara branches, okay? Like how you have bank branches and all. SBI, even the remotest village you will have a branch. SBI. Similarly here, okay? You will have branches all over. Okay. Guna pravardha, sustained by the gunas, nourished by the gunas. Sattva, rajas, tamas. Vishaya pravala. And the sense objects are the shoots with which new experiences start. अरे ये भी था क्या? ये देखा नहीं पहला? अरे today I saw a new thing. Maybe it's good to have that. I heard about in Bandra a new restaurant opened. What is that? Vietnamese food. No, Vietnamese food I have not had here. Bombay में Chinese मिलता है, Vietnamese किधर से? Let's go and have new samsara experiences. Good or bad, you don't know. You mix French cuisine and Chinese cuisine, you will get Vietnamese cuisine, okay? Nothing great, okay. If you also like it, like it. My travels, I have experienced some of it. Sab samsara hi hai. Then, adascha moolan anusandadani. Okay. All the diffused roots also. Secondary roots also come down, he says. Secondary roots come down, which is karma, karma phalam. First root is avidya. Into the unmanifest Brahman we don't know. Secondary roots are karma phalam. Therefore what? Karma anubandhini manushya loke. Karma anubandhini. You are bound by your karma. Manushya loka, this world of mortals, human beings, nicely tied up with karma, karma phalam. Whether it's punya or papa doesn't matter. You are tied. Whether your shackles are made of iron or gold, it doesn't matter. You are shackled. This is samsara. This is our worldly experience. बराबर फंसा हुआ है. Now what you will say then? ओ लॉर्ड त्रायिमाम पायिमाम बैठ के गाएगा वो भी. And you know what the worst thing I see? People sing about moksha, etc., without having a clue what it is about or wanting to even strive for it. Without a clue what it is, they'll sing it. That's why now I don't go for too many musical performances. I don't go because they're singing nonsense which they don't understand. Unless it's someone like Shaboni singing, she understands. Yeah. Anyway, even when you sing something simple like Khelati Mama Hridaye Ramaha, they make it just an experiential thing. I imagine Rama is in my heart. Champion loke, samsara karmanu bandini manishya loke. Swamiji, then this tree is so huge. Where is it? I have not encountered this tree. Like the Jedi Knights, I also want to go and have an encounter this tree. Kidhar hai? Kidhar hai? Here. I'll tell you where it is. न रूपमस्येह तथा उपलभ्यते नान्तो न चादिर्न च संप्रतिष्ठाः अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूलम् असङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा ततः पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यं यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूयः तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यतः प्रवृत्ति प्रसूता पुराणी. The first verse doesn't have a verb, that's why I went to the second verse. Na rupam asya ihar vidyate. If you are going to look for the tree here, you will not get the form of the tree. Why? Every experience of yours is a tree. Your body itself is a tree. Your mind is a tree. Your desires are the fresh shoots that are coming out. I want to have a new flat, fresh shoot, new car, new house, new wife. Fresh shoots coming out. Sorry, not new wife. Okay. All fresh shoots. Okay. Na tataha upalabhyate. You won't see the form of the tree. But why? Na antaha na chadir na sasampratishtha. It doesn't have a beginning or end. Where does samsara have a beginning or end? Experience wise. At the same time, it doesn't have a real basis. It's only an appearance. It doesn't have substance. Substance is me, the consciousness. Other than that, what is there? There is no substance other than that. Look at it. Huge tree, huge samsara, huge field of experience. माल कुछ नहीं है, लेकिन बहुत कमाल होता है उधर. Yeah. Lot of stuff happens. Lot of stuff happens. And everyone has an opinion about whatever that happens. Ukrainian war. All of us are experts on it. Go on the net and you will find all expert opinions coming out. People have opinions, they have the freedom to have opinion. Yeah. Samsara. Without knowing the truth, if you have an opinion, that's called samsara. Adhyasa, that is pure. Yeah, golmaal hai, bhai, sab golmaal hai, barabar hai. You're right, Sugandh. It's all golmaal only everywhere. Samsara is the biggest golmaal of them all. Yeah. Nice character. Or man or woman who are happy with what the person is doing. Life is chugging along smoothly. And the parents and the elders look at it. Character is enjoying too much. Let us get him married. And sometimes the guy himself wants to do that. फिर सोचता है यार मैं किधर फंस गया. You know, in our times when we were young, our batchmates and all, we were a little bit more discreet, you know. So we would never go and tell our parents, hey, we want to get married. I said, कैसे बोल सकते हैं ऐसा, है ना? How do you express that, you know? So generally, the parents are in the villages, we are in the cities, working, doing a job, etc. Then we'll write home, you know. My batchmates and all have done that. Daddy, this hotel food is not agreeing with me. I'm getting digestive problems. And I don't have the time to cook at home. All these indications to the father. Dad, find somebody. And the dad is smart. He wants his freedom. For 3 months, I am sending your mother to live with you. This is how the game used to go on. No? All samsara games. No, we are more assertive, we will say it. Another samsara game. Whatever you do or you don't do, samsara is going on. Okay. Everything that we do is part of the samsara. Finally, you find a teacher. Trahi mam, pahi mam, from this ocean of samsara, please save me. And the teacher is thinking, हाय इंसान के भट भक्ति है अंदाज के बाहर खुद खुदा होकर बंदा नजर आते. The free is saying is bound. इसका आगे क्या संसार हो सकता है? He is the Lord himself, but he is taking himself as bound. And he will put into music and sing. Uddharamam dheenam nati dheenam. All that. You all can sing better, not me. Okay. No end to samsara. Na? Look at our music, look at our song and dance, look at our prayers, look at our this. Everything is within samsara alone. You are going to a teacher is also within samsara. Hopefully that will free you from it. Hope there is one hope there. And what about other things? The hope is that will make you grow. That those experiences will make you grow so that you can come to the teaching. Dharmartha kama to an extent fulfilled, or you suffer enough to get it so that you will hope you will move towards moksha. Bas ho gaya, both kiya mein. Been there, done that. Now I want freedom from the whole thing. Okay. Okay. That hope is there. Okay. Okay. Then what should you do then? Ashwat enam ashwatham. Suviruda moolam, along with the moolam. Asanga shastrena dridena chitva. Cut it down. How do you cut it down? Asanga shastrena. With the axe or sword of asangatvam. Asangatvam is your objectivity. People translate asangatvam as a detachment. I don't know what this book has translated it. Yeah, either be detachment ही किया. When you are in samsara, you cannot detach yourself from samsara. How do you detach yourself from samsara? How do you detach? You are involved in it, no? You have a child at home. Now tell me, how will you detach? Give the child up in adoption or what? Objective. You bring in a sense of objectivity with everything in life. Yeah, it's important. To every activity of yours, bring in objectivity. Vairagya. That is the detachment we are talking about. There is no other detachment. Yeah. Wow. Disengagement, somebody is saying. What is the difference between disengagement and detachment? I am not going to get involved. Then I am only going to look at life. You will never grow. Why? Life is not a spectator sport. Life is meant to get involved. You won't get a prime body by watching prime bodies on TV. You have to go and exercise yourself. By watching others exercise, you are not going to build up a tough body. You have to exercise yourself. Similarly, to grow, you have to get involved in life. But how? Objectivity, karma yoga buddhi, by willing to accept success and failure, to meet those two imposters and treat them just the same. Yeah. Rudyard Kipling's if. Yeah. Meet success and failure and take it in your stride by prasada buddhya, ishwararpana buddhya, by objectivity. This is what it can give me, nothing more. I'm married, now I should live happy ever after. That deserves the biggest laugh ever. It will give you physical and emotional companionship. Yes. It will give you a sparring partner in life. To hone your sparring skills. Yes. Anything more you expect out of it? Some understanding, some support in difficult times. Yes. More than that, happily ever after is moksha. You won't get that out of a marriage. Not meant to. Not meant to. Yeah, certain things it can give. Yeah. Certain things it cannot give. Everything in life is like that. Certain things it can give. Don't say money is useless. Money is useful. I was just talking to someone today morning, and I was telling them, yeah, money, there is a power in money which is useful. Why? My teacher came to Rishikesh last month of his life. He needed dialysis every day. So one of the devotees who had the money set up a dialysis unit in the ashram itself. Money, it helps. Otherwise you would have to go to the local hospital in Rishikesh. My God, that's like a veterinary hospital. But it's useful. Could it save his life? No. It just he also knew it. He was extending his life so that the devotees will come to terms with the fact he is going to go. Because I was among the first to meet him when he came back from States in an air ambulance. He told me, I am going to stop treatment. He was very objective. And he wanted my opinion. He looked at me. I said, Swamiji, if you want to go, there is nowhere to go actually, but I can understand that. I don't want to see you suffering like this. The physical pain and then not worth it. And I said, we teachers will take it immediately. We will accept it. Give your devotees some time. He said, okay, after 1 month I will stop. He stopped treatment after 1 month. But all that is within samsara, no? But objectivity, he brought that objectivity. Money can do a few things. That's where I started off. The power of money. You can do something. But more than that, nothing. And when he stopped treatment, she was the most upset, naturally. She has set it up. But he's saying it's time for me to go. Abhi kya bolega? Abhi kya bolega? Yeah, because there is a time for everyone to drop their bodies. I am saying go, etc., using colloquial language, etc. Okay, the right thing would be to say drop your body. Okay. Yeah. All right, with asanga, I am becoming objective in life. I am living by karma yoga buddhi, etc. Fine. Agate swagatam kuryat gachantam na nivarayet. What comes to me, I will welcome it. What goes away, I will not hold it back. That much also I have. Sadhu attitude I have. All right. Will that free me from samsara? Not yet. Why? You have one more thing to do. Tataf padam tat parimargitavyam yasmin gata na nivartanti bhuyaha. Tataf padam tad moolam parimargitavyam. The source of the samsara. The root, which was above. Parimargitavyam. Inquire into that with the help of a guru and the pramana. With the help of a teacher and the pramana. Parimargitavyam. Inquire into that. Why? Because when you reach there, when you understand, yasmin gataha, when you get it means here, when you get it, okay, understand it. Na nivartanti bhuyaha, you don't come back to samsara again. It is like the warrior chief who trains all the Jedi Knights, Yoda, he lives in the vriksha, in the tree, untouched. His no fear to manifest. He is living in that swamp of the tree. No problems. Happy life. Why? Bhuyaha samsare na gataha na nivartante. Into samsara you don't come back again. Why? You understood the freedom that you are. You understood your sarupaha, that which is beyond all experiences. That which is the limitless consciousness as yourself you have understood. Abhi kya hai? Abhi kya hai? Only the next verse can sum it up. Tameva chadyam purusham prabhadye yatah pravarti prasrata purani. Tameva adyam purusham. Tameva chadyam purusham. Isharakyam, that Ishara, the source, the pure consciousness, which is also manifest as Ishara. Aham prapadye, I surrender to, I seek. I surrender to, I seek. Yata pravarti prasuta purani. From where all the samsara pravarti, Purani samsara pravarti has come. This Purana samsara pravarti has come from what source? I surrender to that, I seek that. Okay, prapadya has got both the meanings, okay. This is the attitude with which you seek. He said parimargitavyam. Here he is referring to the attitude with which parimargitavyam. This is not the attitude of a scientist. A scientist has to be skeptical with respect to everything, isn't it? A scientist has to be dismissive with respect to many things. But a scientist has to be questioning also. Similarly, the Vedanta student also has to be questioning. Pariprashnena sevaya, we saw it in the 4th chapter, 5th chapter. Pariprashnena sevaya, we've seen that earlier. Yeah. So questions have to be asked. But what is the attitude? Okay. Tameva chadyam purusham prapadye, I surrender to that source. Because without Ishvara's grace, you are not going to know the truth. If there is Ishvara, let me start with that premise. I have said this before, but it is a good place to repeat it. If there is Ishvara for the whole creation, I will never know that Ishvara unless Ishvara himself reveals himself. Why? He is the truth of, why? Because he is the truth of the creation. We can seek out, no? Idiot, he is the truth of you also. If he has to be the truth of the creation, he has to be your truth also. So किधर खोजेगा अभी? Where are you going to search? If you search, if you look out into the world and search, you will be called a scientist, theoretical physicist, the ultimate philosophers, actually speaking. Because where is philosophy in the Western world anyway? Theoretical physicists have taken up that job. Yeah, really, they are the philosophers in the Western world. And you are looking within, किधर है, क्या है, where is that, what is the energy? Then you become a yogi. Outside bhogi, inside yogi. ठीक है, इतना ही फर्क है. It's like one of my students, who's a Vedanta teacher now, she said, first 25 years of my life, I was looking for happiness outside. Didn't find it. By that time I got married and had a kid and everything. Next 25 years, I started looking for happiness inside. She's a very good yoga teacher, okay? I didn't find it there also. Then, so on my 50th birthday, I came to Vedanta. And now I'm fine. Yeah. Talking about Falguni. Okay, as a teacher also she's good. Yeah. Yeah. Therefore, the attitude with which you seek, that Ishvara, you will know only if Ishvara reveals himself. That is why every religion in the world claims to be from Ishvara, either directly or indirectly. Directly or through some son of God, through some prophet of God, through some messenger of God, or some champion like that. कोई ना कोई तो रहना चाहिए. We also do the same thing. Say the Veda is a Pramana. But we are not illogical about it. We are talking about the truth of the whole samsara, including ourselves. That's why we don't localize Ishvara in Timbuktu. ऊपर बैठा है. ऊपर किधर है? My upper is down for the American, and his upper is down for me. So where are you talking about? There is no. We are not localized Ishvara. We are saying whole creation, 14 dimensions, is a manifestation of Ishvara, entirely different. Therefore, because of this, our attitude of inquiry is also different. We question, of course we question, but we question to understand. Tameva chadyam purusham prapadye, I surrender to that Ishvara. From where this whole thing has come. The samsara and the solution for samsara both have to come from Ishvara alone. Hunger is naturally created, food is also naturally there. Thirst is there, water is there. Air hunger is there, air is there outside. Need for moksha, for fulfillment is there, solution is also there. From where? From the same source, Ishvara alone. Tameva chadyam purusham prapadye yata pravarti purani prasuta purani. This ancient samsara, the whole samsara, going for yugas after yugas. If you look at the calculation of the yugas, mind-boggling. We are talking about human civilization as something like 4,80,000 years. As civilization, Satya Yuga was, we are not talking about pre-civilization, we are talking about civilization as human beings. Science will contend with that, let them, it's okay. That's all right. We don't have to argue about whether it is 4 lakh years or 500,000 years or whatever. We don't have to bother about that. It's a long, long time. Okay. Purani prasarta. Whole thing has come for yugas after yugas. Kalpa after kalpa it has come and gone. Kalpas after kalpa it has come and gone. Therefore, Dam Adyam Purusham Aham Prapadye, I seek it. I approach the study with a certain reverential attitude. With a certain reverential attitude, I approach this. Yeah. Because it's not just an ordinary inquiry, like into physics or something like that. Why? Because when I am studying atoms, I don't want to be atomized. When I am studying biology, I don't want to be an evolutionary sample. When I am studying Vedanta, I want to be free from all limitations. What I want to know and what I want to be and what I am happens to be one and the same. Therefore, the attitude has to be slightly different. It is not the skeptical scientific attitude. It is nor is it the blind belief of religion. It is not a skeptical attitude of science. It is not the blind belief of religion. It is the sacredness of the whole thing, pursuit. It is recognizing the sacredness of the pursuit. That's a very peculiar, special attitude Only a Vedantin has. I could say a Sanatani has. Why? Because Sanatana Dharma is ultimately based on Vedanta alone. Therefore, this attitude has permeated everything in Hinduism, the sacredness of things. But certain areas, blind belief has also come in. But we are not talking about blind belief here. Neither the blind belief of religion, nor the skepticism of science, but a healthy questioning with a healthy attitude, recognizing Ishvara as the source of everything, as the source of all knowledge, and approaching it like that. When you do that, what happens? No reason why you can't get it. Is there any reason why you should not get it? Every generation, there are hundreds of people who have got it. Every generation. And I want to contribute whatever little I can to ensure that the future generations also will get it. So their grandchildren will also have a teacher. That's why we are putting up an ashram, etc., so that fresh teachers can come up. Every generation of teachers creates new generation of teachers. That's how the parampara goes on. Yeah, parampara goes on like that. So that every generation there will be teachers and there will be students. There will be students who will become teachers. Because all of them come with this attitude. They may not have come with the attitude, but in the process of studying, they will discover this attitude. Tameva chadyam purusham prapatti yata prasutta pravruta purani. Where all this has come from, that source I salute to, I surrender to. So that I am, why? So that I can gain this knowledge. They will free me from this whole samsara. I have been there, done that, I had enough experiences of life. Both kiya hai. It is like in one TV serial I saw a dialogue between Parashurama and Krishna. It's a made up thing, but it is a beautiful dialogue. Where Parashurama, old man, and young Krishna. So Parashurama blows a conch. Says, ये तो ध्वनि है अभी कली युग का. And he hands it over to Krishna. अभी अपना युग संभालो. बहुत मक्खन खाया. बहुत नाच नचाया. You have been there, danced enough with the gopis, you have had enough makhan, etc. Abhi apna yug sambhalo. Because the transition is happening from Treta to Kali. It has to be traumatic. It's bound to be upheavals. Any transition from one yuga to the next is upheavals. That's why the Mahabharata war. So I say either enough, I have played my games enough. Been there, done that. All experience I had. Now what? Now I want to know the truth. Yeah. What about life, etc.? Your responsibilities, that will go on. I am competent enough. वो तो बाई हाथ का खेल है. I am competent enough to take care of that. No big deal. What's the big deal? Of taking care of my family, children, no big deal. I can aram se do that along with everything else. And I will seek the truth. That attitude. Once you have that attitude, nobody can prevent you from knowing the truth. If you have this attitude and you have a teacher who knows the stuff, no one can prevent you from knowing the truth. Nobody. Guaranteed. ये तो खुद अनुभव की बात है. This is also what the Pramana is saying. That has been validated by the experience of all the teachers. Nobody can stop you from knowing the truth. Okay. Okay. Then what happens when you know the truth, etc. A little bit he goes into. But good place to stop. Those verses we can see next time. Okay. Good place to stop. So have that. Yeah.
Swamiji, there is a school for theology in London.
There is a
School for theology in London.
yeah, the theology is the study of Ishvara, God, but not the theology that you are referring to is about God sitting in Timbuktu. Whenever you study theology, it's always about a God being localized somewhere. In our presentation of God, we don't localize him. We localize only for the sake of worship as your Ishta Devata. So it's very different. It's not a theology in that sense.
Yeah, it's like the curriculum involves worship and implications
Yeah,
of
exactly.
church and biblical verses in
Yeah.
life and all that.
Yeah, we are here, we don't have those things. No? You're free to do what you want, you're free not to do also. You just have a prayerful attitude, that's enough. If you, in fact, that's what it is meant for. All the prayers that you do are meant to have a prayerful attitude in life. So if you have the prayerful attitude, then fine, that's enough. The attitude that's described, no? Tameva chadyam purusham prapardi. If I have that attitude, then that's enough. I don't need anything more. Though the culture does talk about it because it's a very sophisticated culture. Therefore, we have all dimensions taken care of. But individually, more than that is not necessary. Yeah. So until you get it, some little practice, etc. But nothing more than that. Yeah. Yeah, Ajit.
Yeah, thank you, Swamiji.
Okay.
I was just looking at, because
Yeah.
there was a postgraduate course on that.
Okay. Yeah. There are.
Exactly those contents and how it's actually.
Yeah. And so I'll tell you, some of our teachers in the Western world also teach that, because they want to make a difference between what theology means in the Western world and what it means in Vedanta. So some of them are also teaching such courses to highlight the differences. Yeah.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Yeah.
Swamiji, I want to share an experience.
Yeah, Sugandh, tell me.
So in the morning, there in IIT, there is a Padmavati temple.
Yeah.
So almost every day I go there. So in the morning when I go there, there are a lot of green trees over here, very beautiful flowers come out. Every morning I see people go there with a lifafa and pluck the flowers, lots of them, keep them and take them and go to their home and pray. Even they would go to the temple, pluck the flowers from there, and then take a lot of flowers and go back to their temple and pray. And every single day I would see flowers the reason flower is there in nature is because what Ishvara has designed flower to do.
Yeah.
There is a purpose. So I was always apprehensive of, and whenever someone was plucking it, I was feeling very agitated, irritated, and why this person is okay. If you want a flower, take one. No? Why are you taking so much? So every single day, this agitation, this irritation was growing. One fine day, very recently, when I went over there, so there was this one sadhu who had come over there. He was sitting there. So I shared, why do these people don't mind their ways and why are they always plucking the flower? He said, don't go to them, don't say anything to them. Just sit and
Yeah.
watch them as what you were saying right now,
Yeah.
Dekho, tamasha.
True. Now, about this offering flowers, this is a very interesting thing. Remind me next class. Someone, please, more than one person take the responsibility of reminding me. This is a very beautiful incident, real life thing that happened in a place called Dhanu, where all the chiku trees got infected and things like that. And it was connected with flowers and temple offerings. Okay? But please remind me next time. I will talk about that next time. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Take care. Om Tat Sat.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam ji.